Today, global markets were jolted awake by a seismic policy shift as President Donald Trump dropped a trade bombshell that's reverberating from Wall Street to Beijing. In a fiery Truth Social post, Trump announced he's hiking tariffs on China to an eye-popping 125%, effective immediately, slamming what he calls China's lack of respect for the world's markets. Based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I am hereby raising the tariff charge to China by the United States of America to 125%, he wrote. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. But the plot thickened. Trump also threw a curveball, pausing reciprocal tariffs on all other trading partners for 90 days and slashing those rates to just 10% during the reprieve. The result? Markets went into overdrive. The announcement hit like a thunderclap, and Wall Street responded with a vengeance. Within minutes of Trump's post, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rocketed up by more than 2,000 points, erasing days of bruising losses that had traders sweating bullets. The S&P 500 leapt over 7%, while the Nasdaq soared past 8%, fueled by a euphoric relief rally. This came on the heels of Wednesday morning's chaos, when Trump's initial reciprocal tariffs slammed about 60 countries, sending global equities into a nosedive. Now, with this strategic pivot, investors are breathing a collective sigh of relief and piling back into the market with gusto. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent took center stage at the White House to unpack the whirlwind. Because of a large number of inbound calls, we had more than 75 countries contact us, and I imagine after today there'll be more, he told reporters, painting the 90-day pause as a masterstroke to lure nations to the negotiating table. China is the most unbalanced economy in the history of the modern world and the biggest source of U.S. trade problems, Bessent asserted, laying the blame squarely at Beijing's feet. They sell us over 5 times what we sell them. It's their choice we're in this mess. He's wasting no time with a sit-down scheduled today with Vietnamese officials and a good chat, already in the books with Japan's ambassador last night. Bessent called Trump's tariff playbook, negotiating leverage on steroids, hinting at bespoke deals that could reshape global trade flows. The China tariffs, now at a staggering 125%, mark a steep climb from the 104% rate Trump rolled out just this morning, itself a jump from his earlier threat to tack 50% onto China's existing 54% burden. Beijing fired back hard, vowing to fight to the end, and escalating its retaliation with an 84% tax on U.S. imports, up from an initial 34% counterpunch earlier this week. Bessent sidestepped the trade war label but didn't pull punches. China's escalated and President Trump responded very courageously. We're going to work on a solution with our trading partners. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt piled on with a sharp jab. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China. The message? America's back in the driver's seat. Trump's Truth Social post laid out his logic in vivid detail. More than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, Departments of Commerce, Treasury, the USTR, to negotiate a solution to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation and non-monetary tariffs, he wrote. These countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States, so I've authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff of 10%, effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. It's a classic Trump gambit: punish China, reward cooperation, and keep the world guessing. And it's working like a charm. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick jumped on X to hype the move, dubbing Trump's post one of the most extraordinary truth posts of his presidency. He claimed he and Bessent were in the room as Trump crafted it, adding, "The world is ready to work with President Trump to fix global trade, and China has chosen the opposite direction." The about-face comes after a brutal week. Stocks cratered following Trump's Liberation Day tariff threats, with no hint of a pause in sight. Billionaire hedge fund titan Bill Ackman, a Trump endorser, had publicly pleaded over the weekend for a 90-day timeout, warning of an economic nuclear winter if tariffs steamrolled ahead unchecked. Today he's all smiles. "Thank you on behalf of all Americans," he posted on X. This was brilliantly executed by @Real Donald Trump. Textbook Art of the Deal. The backstory adds layers to the drama. Just days ago, Trump scoffed at the idea of hitting pause as markets bled out, insisting he'd stay the course. Analysts speculated he'd ride the tariff wave no matter the cost, with some predicting a deeper sell-off if China doubled down. Now, with Beijing escalating and allies clamoring for talks, Trump's flipped the script hard. The 125% China tariffs are locked and loaded, a clear signal he's not bluffing. The 90-day pause for everyone else? It's a ticking clock for diplomacy. Besant's already teasing broader negotiations. Think LNG deals with Europe, currency tweaks with Japan, maybe even tariff carve-outs for India. Every deal's bespoke, he said, grinning like a man holding all the cards. Markets are lapping it up, but the stakes couldn't be higher. China's not budging. State media blasted Trump's move as economic blackmail, and their 84% counter tariffs hit U.S. farmers and manufacturers square in the gut. Soybean futures tanked 5% in pre-market trading, a grim reminder of the collateral damage piling up. Yet for now, Wall Street's betting on Trump's gambit paying off. The VIX Volatility Index, a fear gauge for investors, plunged 15% as calm returned. Analysts are split. Some hail this as a genius stroke of leverage, others warn it's a powder keg waiting to blow if talks falter. What's next? 90 days is a heartbeat in global trade and the pressure's on. Vietnam's at the table today, Japan's warming up, and whispers of India joining the fray are swirling. Besant hinted at tackling non-monetary barriers too, think intellectual property spats or regulatory roadblocks. For China, it's a staring contest with a $600 billion trade deficit on the line. Trump's betting he can outlast them and the world's watching. Buckle up, this trade roller coaster's got plenty of twists left.